people's minds. Unfortunately, 2 different terminal cancers eventually took his life last August. But our experiences together taught me a whole list of life lessons. Some I will share today in hopes it will help us make a bigger impact as we move forward in the work we do for the dog. First, I'd like to start out by acknowledging that, I gotta take these off, sorry. First, I'd like to start off by acknowledging that when we started this journey, things for pit bulls were much worse than they are today. There's still a lot of work to be done, but the progress we've made is due to people like yourself doing what they can do for the dogs. For that, I say thank you. The dogs say thank you. And please give yourself a huge round of applause. My wife Claire and I got into all of this because of Wallace, and when we started out, we researched and gathered all the facts, so then when we could get into a debate with somebody, we'd be able to change their minds, right? Yeah! Yeah, because that works so well. Yeah. Fortunately, Wallace couldn't understand all the negative talk. However, anybody that knew Wallace knew that he was a pretty confident dog. Wallace was very comfortable being Wallace. Now I'm going to project some things on Wallace here, but I honestly feel that if Wallace was a person and would have been able to hear all the people talking negative against him and others like him, he would have looked everybody in the eye and simply said this: "That's bullshit." And this is where the true Wallace comes in, and I'll prove it. Period. He wouldn't have started arguing with anybody. He wouldn't have gone on Facebook and posted a bunch of messages tearing anybody down. He would have stepped up and proved himself through action simply to show the truth and expose people to it. And fortunately, we were in a position to be able to give him that chance. Among many awards, Wallace became the 2006 Sport World Champion and the 2007 Purina Pro Plan Incredible Dog Challenge National Champion in sport. The evidence that we gathered through Wallace playing Frisbee definitely made it easy for us to justify Wallace's existence, but the cool thing is that it went further than that. When people watched Wallace play Frisbee, it entertained them. Since those people were entertained, it caused them to have a good time. And that allowed me to engage in conversations with people who didn't like pit bulls and talk with them about how maybe the negative they had been hearing or experiencing wasn't the whole story. I'm sure many of you have run into the fact that people's opinions aren't often changed through debate, logic, facts. Right? On top of their opinion, emotionally, a person doesn't want to admit they're wrong, especially to somebody they are debating with. Admitting that they're wrong doesn't make a person feel good about themselves. However, some type of positive emotional experience does, and it creates a foot in the door for a conversation to start. Facts are very important and extremely necessary. However, if you actually want to change a person's mindset, we need to present those facts in ways that make others want to listen. And that's exactly what Wallace showed us how to do. Yeah. Some people we were able to change pretty quickly. Others, we just planted a seed. You're not going to be able to change everybody on the spot, and the stronger the opinion, the more experiences will be needed to influence that person. The awesome thing now is that I feel we're finally reached a point where there are more positive things going on than negative. Yeah! Large publishing companies have put out multiple positive pit bull books in the last few years. BSL is being repealed more than it is being reenacted. There are resources to show legislators that prove how many tax dollars BSL wastes. Yeah. More and more people, including celebrities, are adopting and speaking out on behalf of pit bulls. As of today, with Rebecca Yori organizing a march in Washington, D.C. So we can be a force for what needs to change. Social media is huge. It allows us to get positive imagery in front of people. We are no longer dependent on the mainstream media. We have the power to put it out there ourselves, and we should. That's what I did with Wallace, and that alone provides a new beginning for how we can operate moving forward. Yes, there are the crazies out there. but I believe that most people are trying to do the right thing. And if they didn't, they probably just didn't have the correct information to do otherwise. It's our job now to give them that info and do it in a way where they want to listen. We have awesome stories out there like our other dog, Hector, who was rescued. Yeah! Hector was rescued from none other than Michael Vick's dog fighting operation. He could have become a lot of things, but he became a certified therapy dog that lives at home with us and our other dogs and represents all the other There are more and more stories being created by dogs following in Wallace's footsteps, represented through various activities: therapy work, service work, search and rescue, agility, flyball, frisbee, dock diving, professional couch surfers. The list goes on. We need to be supporting these dogs and spreading the word, because I have found that often the best thing to do is first get out of the dog's way and let them represent themselves. Then we step up like today and be their voice and be the megaphone for their accomplishments. Now, if for whatever reason it doesn't work out for them to have a first-hand experience with one of the dogs, make sure they have a positive experience with you as a pit bull owner and supporter. Example of this: my neighbors know that Wallace and Hector are pit bulls. We had a horrible winter up in Minnesota this year. Okay? A lot of my neighbors' snowblowers broke. Okay? I snowblowed some of their driveways for them. And let the one neighbor borrow my snowblower when I didn't have time to do his. Pay it forward to gain the trust and respect of people around you. So when the time comes where you need to draw on their influence, you'll have it. Remember, you're not going to change everybody, but you don't need to. For the haters that are just trying to tear you down, don't give them the satisfaction. Just because other people act a certain way doesn't mean we have to. And in fact, if we act the same way in retaliation, then my question is, how are we any better? Be better. Talk less, do more. And the future will be bright for not only pit bulls, but the dogs in general and the responsible families like us that share our lives with them. Thank you.